Political victories or political losses. It taught me, and I'm confident it taught Jeb, that you don't need to fear failure.
President George W. Bush there on lessons that he learned from his father.
His political career spanned 4 decades. He preferred to keep his message civil, but his campaigns often turned ugly. And how did George Bush change politics? Well, CNN Chief National Correspondent John King takes a look at George H.W. Bush, the politician.
It was the defining promise of his presidential campaign.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
That was his 1988 Republican convention speech. Just 2 years later, during the build-up to the Gulf War, he broke it, knowing it would infuriate conservatives and perhaps cost him his job.
As we speak, our nation is standing together against Saddam Hussein's aggression. But here at home, there's another threat, a cancer gnawing away at our nation's health. That cancer is the budget deficit.
All his political people said don't raise taxes, but President Bush was convinced he had to put the country ahead of his own political standing, agreeing in the end to a compromise that included about $3 in cuts for every dollar in new taxes.
There comes a time when you have to simply make tough decisions, give a little, to get what is best for the country.
If you do the math, you don't get the Clinton-era balanced budgets without the Bush-era tax compromise. Conservatives revolted, and the Bush team believes that broken promise was a big reason he lost. George Bush had many stops on his path to the presidency. He was the last World War II veteran to win the White House. He served a couple terms in Congress, lost a couple of U.S. Senate races, and was Republican Party chairman during the wilderness years of Watergate. He decided to challenge Jimmy Carter in 1980, but an incumbent president wasn't his biggest problem.
I am paying for this microphone, Mr. Speaker.
Despite winning the Iowa caucuses, Bush couldn't sustain what he called the big moment.